Okay, I think I am live. Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. And it's almost the weekend, so thumbs up. So I have a guest today. This is a gentleman who has been around for a long time. He's been in a lot of the different chats, and only very recently started doing live streams, which is very, very cool. So I thought, you know what, let's bring him on and let's have some fun. So without further ado, let's have Mr. Paul Lue.
Hey
Come
guys.
on.
Hey Hack.
Hey Paul, how's it going, man?
Good man. How are you?
Good. So yeah, I was saying, so you've started doing some live feeds, which is very cool. I mean, everybody knows your name. You've been in streams for forever.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, it's cool to see you start doing some live streams, and I like when folks do live stream because again, it kind of lets us all know a little more about you. So I guess this is an acceleration of that.
Yeah. Right.
And bringing you all out to everybody in one shot. We got 21 people right now, which is absolutely fantastic. Let me just say hello to the folks that are in here, and then we'll get going here. So Will Dunham was the first one to pop in. Hey Will, how are you? There's my buddy Bruce. How's it going, brother? Okay, we got Upside Down is in the house. Rick Hefner, Spencer Cron, welcome guys. Dave, man, I hope everything's going okay with your pup, buddy. I'm thinking about you. Upside Down is here. Jeff Replinger is here. Jack the Rabbit, how's it going? Janice is here. Hello. Half Face, how's it going? Dwight Bailey, Tom Harhigh. Wow, now everybody's filing in. Hey, there's Thrash. How's it going? Daniel Horsley. Gussie Wells is here. Guitared it.
Wow.
Okay, I hope I'm caught everyone. Brian S., hey, buddy. Nice to see you. Wow, the chat's just jumping. Tim Seymour, welcome. Dan Beck, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a great evening, man. The Live Wires. Hey, look what I'm wearing.
Hey.
Got the Live Wires colors on tonight, man. So Paul, we're talking a little bit off air. So just so everybody knows here, so when exactly did you start playing, and how did that all come about?
I started playing guitar really, really young. Grandfather was a guitar player. All my uncles played guitar, so I was always around the guitar. I didn't start to get serious until I was a teenager. That's when I was like, okay, guitar, girls. All right, let's do this. Yeah, and I spent probably 4 or 5 years really, really working. Honestly, it was probably my best guitar playing as a teenager because I had the time to like donate to just playing guitar, and I got really good. And then I joined the Marine Corps, and I had a guitar with me most places I went, but I didn't always have the time to play. And so there was a long time. Then I got out of the service and got married, had kids, kind of got away from it. So probably about 10 years ago, I got back on it and I started working at it again.
That's interesting. That's a real common thread, I think, with pretty much everybody. So how everybody started, had to drop it because of life, and then came back to it. So how long was your break?
Let's see, probably from 18 to maybe 35.
Wow.
Yeah,
because I've been 17 years.
Yeah, I've been back on it since I was about that age. So yeah,
that is in a very long break. I thought I'm like almost 12, but that's got me beat big.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't completely stop playing. I always had like a guitar around, but I'd pick it up, I'd strum it for a minute or two that I had, and then it was going back in the corner. So it wasn't like I totally ditched it, but it wasn't really something that I was working at.
Right. So what brought you back to it then?
Well, I had time. I always loved playing. I enjoyed the escape. I love music. I love making music. I just didn't have the time. You know, I went back to college and I had the kids, and there was just no time for it.
So,
You know?
so who were your people that you sort of wanted to play like, sound like, or who got you into it?
There's so many. There's so many. Stevie Ray Vaughan, all the '80s metal. You know, all of those guys.
Right.
I mean, all of it. I love music. I can't say there's one person. You know, because they get the Eddie Van Halen's. Yeah, amazing. I loved music. I listened to all of it. So there wasn't one. I guess if one guy would be Stevie Ray Vaughan, but he wasn't. He was just, you know, that much of all of the others.
Right. So okay. So you're a big Steve. So what was your first guitar? Was it a Strat then?
No, my first guitar was an acoustic guitar because that's what I grew up around, and that's what I knew. It was a K acoustic guitar.
Okay, I've heard that. Yeah.
I had to save my money, buy it, and I played it until I realized that acoustic guitars don't get as much attention as electric guitars.
Not if you want to be heard, no.
well, you get more attention from the girls when you have the electric guitar.
Right.
You know? And I started to see that in high school. I'm like, all right, I got to get myself an electric guitar. So I bought an Ibanez. I don't even remember the model. I bought an Ibanez, and it was a Marshall. It was a tube Marshall, and I don't remember the model that it was either.
Mm-hmm.
It was loud. It was loud because I was always getting in trouble. But I got into this band, and guy that had who started the band was the drummer, and he had a big garage. And up above the garage, that was all ours. It was soundproofed. We had a PA system, drums,
sweet
amps. It was because we could go there Friday night and jam as loud as we wanted, and you couldn't even hear outside of the garage, you know? So that's what we did Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Did you guys with just garage, or did you guys actually get out there and do some gigging?
No, it was just garage. We were just having fun playing, you know, everything. Slayer, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, just about anything that was out there. But we were just there. We were partying and making music.
That sounds like every kid's dream right there, man.
It was, because nobody ever came up there and told us to turn it down.
I just wanted to say hello to a few more folks that popped in here, and I'm probably going to repeat names, but I'd rather repeat than forget some people. So Guitarded is here. Welcome. Working my way down here. Okay. Layla's Guitar Daddy. How are you? Russ Markhart, how are you? Music Therapy Laz. Hey, Music Therapy. Sorry, buddy. I saw you were on. I couldn't join you. I was trying to I had some technical issues, known as a broken tripod, but couldn't get to your stream. Hey, Johnny Bean is here. Hey, Johnny, how's it going, man? Welcome back from NAMM. What else we got here? Mike Rohde. Hey, man. Headstock Harem is here. Ray Kaffner. Oh, wow, man. Marco's Images. Thank you all so much for popping in, man. Appreciate it. And Clive 54, you made it. And it just jumped on me. Thomas Santiago, Six String Brian is here. Joe Hervey is here. BC Rich 581. Metalhead Hippie is here. Hey, buddy. The original Paramutant.
The original Paramutant.
Yeah, that's quite the name, eh? You'll never be confused with the other one. Yeah, no worries, Laz. No worries, man. Hope everybody's doing well. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Metalhead Hippie. Appreciate that.
Oh, dude, you rock.
You rock, man. You rock. Sean Zimmerman, how's it going? Thank you so much, man. All right. So then you had the 17-year hiatus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And then I think I asked you what brought you back, and you said you just missed it and you had time.
Yep.
So when you started playing again, were you like looking at playing again because and maybe trying to get into something, or you just
not
wanted
originally?
To just play?
Not originally. I was just doing it for me, and then some people had heard that I could play, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you come play with us?" And then before you know it, place I go to church. They're like, hey, we need someone to come in and fill, in for guitar. And I said, well, I can probably play the stuff you're playing. It doesn't sound like it's all that hard. And they said, well, why don't you come on and give it a try? And, if you can do it, then we'll have you play with us. And so I did that for a while. And then there was another place that needed some help. So I went and played with them too. And that's pretty much what I've done over the last 10 years, just that type of stuff.
Okay. And I see you've also accumulated a few instruments in the meantime in the last. I'm going to guess that most of the guitars that you have were probably bought when you came back to it. Am I right?
Let me think. I've got one. Yeah. One that was before,
Right.
and that's I can show it to you. It's old. It's probably the late 80s. Oops. I'm relicking them as we go.
There you go.
It's an acoustic guitar. This guitar has been everywhere in the world. It's gone Southeast Asia, Southwest Asia, through Europe.
Wow.
All over the United States. It's a Yamaha. It's beat up. It's got dents in the back of it from beer cans. It fell in a beer can. But yeah, that's the only one that I have that isn't within the last 10 years.
That's some authentic relicking, though. People pay big bucks for those beer can marks.
Yeah, it fell right over. I thought for sure it was done, but no, just a big dent.
You just made $50.
Yeah.
So that's and so all the other ones then, and we did a quick count before we started, and you said you're up to 11 of them. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got about 11 of them. Yep.
All right. I don't know if you will want to show some of them off.
Sure. So the first electric guitar that I bought when I got back in to playing was this here. It's a Jackson.
Oh yeah.
It's a Jackson.
That's a soloist, correct?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's a performer.
Okay.
Yeah. Boom. And that's it. It's the biggest problem with that is this right here. I hate fighting with the Floyd. It was great. It's a great sounding guitar, great playing guitar, but it doesn't get played very often. It hangs on the wall a lot. Because I just, I like to be able to change, go from flat to standard. I like to drop D like that, because a lot of times what I'm doing when I'm playing is I turn the radio on, I've got a stereo speakers here and my amp and it's all right there, my amp and stuff. And I just jam along,
Right.
With this, sometimes it's a pain in the neck,
Yeah, and that's why I toyed around with the idea of a Jackson, but that's sort of what killed it for me too. I want to be able to just swap tunings and yeah.
Yeah. So then after I got that one, I played, I was playing, the Metallica stuff and AC/DC, and I was like, yeah, what about like the more bluesy stuff?
Yeah.
So I went and I got, where is it? This one here, this is a nice Fender.
Nice.
Mexican Fender. It's got, your favorite.
Yeah, I'm looking away from that.
It's even got some gold on the back.
Oh, good word.
But it was actually my first introduction to the Strat and the Strat, tones.
Oh yeah.
And after playing it, I was like, okay, that's the Mexican one. I want to see, the American style, and see the difference. And I went and I played the, I've got a John Mayer signature.
Wow.
Which sits here. And that's that one.
So let me ask you something. So when you put down the Mexican and you pick up the John Mayer, which is obviously an American-made higher-end guitar, what's like the first thing that you notice?
The neck.
Yeah.
Instantly the neck. The just the fret. It's so nice. Now on the Mexican, I kind of took some of the finish off the back.
Mm-hmm.
But, this one here I'm not doing that too. But so it's a little stickier because it's got a gloss finish on the back. But this neck over that neck all day long. As a matter of fact, when I'm looking to play this is the strat I play most of the time. A lot of times if my son is playing along with me, he'll take the other one. Now this strat has jumbo frets, and the other one's got really small frets. And
oh, really?
so here you can bend all day on this thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you must notice, other than the neck feel, I mean, plugged in.
Oh yeah, the sound. This is
better pickups, right?
The Big Dipper pickups is, I think, what he called them. And they have his sound, his bluesy type of sound.
Are they higher output pickups versus?
Not really higher output.
Not really. Just more defined, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
they're the sound that he was looking for.
Right.
Bluesy kind of sound. The neck pickup is sweet. It's just got a sound that every time you plug it in, you're like, oh yeah,
there it is.
I find that the bridge is a little bit thin for me. I don't know why. Even on one of the covers that I did not too long ago, I was like, yeah, I don't really like the way my highs sounded. They were thin, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
a little treble boost would take care of that. But it's a great playing guitar. This one I'll be keeping too. I have a hard time getting rid of them.
Yeah, we talked about that too. I just sold my Telly about an hour ago, and I'm trying not to think about it.
Yeah, that's what I find is it's like seller's remorse is 10 times worse than buyer's remorse. I feel bad buying guitar, like never. Selling them is like, no.
You can always take them back, right?
Yeah. And if I bring it home, I've already played it, and it's not going back. I know when I leave that's the guitar. If I'm not sure, it doesn't go home with me. I have gone looking to buy a guitar and come home disappointed because I just couldn't find one.
Find the right one.
Yeah, that played right. But that's that one. And then I'm trying to remember what came next. I think the Les Paul was next.
Oh, well, we have to look at that.
This is the Les Paul that everybody hates. It's the 2015
Robo Tuners.
The worst Les Paul of the decade, according to McKnight.
It's got his different signature on the headstock. Is that the one?
The signature, it eats away at me every time I see it. I'm like, if they could have just left that alone.
Original.
But honestly, everything else on the guitar. Hang on, I'll grab it.
Yeah. All right. While you're grabbing that, let me just say hello to a few more people that popped in here. And folks, if you have questions for myself or Paul Lue, please tag us, and we'll be able to check it out right away. BB Made. Guitar Hack isn't interested in singing Les Paul. Quite the opposite. I know you're just pulling my leg, buddy. Grumpy Mike is here. Hey, Grumpy Mike. Dale Palmer is here. I missed you earlier. Bobby Lopez, welcome. Six String Stanger. Hey, man. Six String Stanger, man. I dig your videos with Rabia and Chapman. Very cool videos you're posting there, buddy. Very cool. All right. Okay. Let's see what you got there, man.
All right. Guys, I'm trying to read the chat, so I apologize, but it's going by and I'm not reading it at all. So
yes, I hate Les Pauls. That's why I have 5 of them.
So there's the headstock that kind of it's ugly. I wish they would have left it alone.
I don't know.
But whatever. But what you'll see is, if I can find the camera, it doesn't have Robo Tuners anymore.
Oh, you took that off?
I got them off.
I just want to say, sorry to interrupt. I just want to say goodnight. Clive 54, good night, buddy. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. And Ron Limber is here. Okay, sorry, man. Go ahead.
No problem. I had no problem with the tuners. Actually, sometimes it was really convenient. If you wanted to change tuning, you push a button, it would change. It would be on, no problem.
Right.
But when I was changing the strings, it had these little, I hate changing strings. I want it done as fast as possible. Let me see. It had these little screw-on things that you had to screw on. You wrap the string around, you screw the thing on. I spend 15 minutes screwing with 3 strings trying to get that thing to screw on. One night, I'm like, that's it. I'm done with this. I'm ordering something different.
Yeah.
And I took them off, and I haven't regretted it. I made sure I got something I didn't have to drill into the headstock. So if I want to replace it, I can put it back on. But
Yeah.
definitely. But it great. I think it's got the Burst Bucker Pro in it. I think.
Yeah, Burst Bucker Pros. That's pretty much what they've been putting in all of them.
But it's got the
now.
You want to rock and just riff out this guitar right here. All day long.
Well, the Burst Bucker Pros, they're pretty high output pickups, man. They're pretty down and dirty, raunchy. I have a set. I've got an old standard, and I've got Blackie, and I've got Burst Bucker Pros in that, which is fantastic. But I had Burst Bucker Pros in my 2016, so I bought the year after you.
Okay.
And I actually took them out because those ones I didn't like. They were just too, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, and I swapped them out. So but sometimes just I don't know the way they sit in the guitar. Two guitars sound the same, right?
That's right. That's for sure. But this one had a little bit wider this way, the neck. So initially I had a little trouble.
Yes.
Right there. But after playing it, a couple of days, that went away. If I go from if I go from the Kiesel to this one, I feel a little bit off for the first couple of minutes, and then I remember where I am.
I forgot. That's right. They white. So you got the adjustable nut too, right?
Yeah, I had to get in touch with them at one point because it had a brass. It was brass originally.
Yeah.
And that wore down, and it took a long time. And once it did, there's a place not too far from here that it's Replay Exchange is the name of the place. And they had Gibson there, like the Gibson reps. He's like, just call them up, tell them what you need. They'll need your serial number, give them the serial number, and you'll be good to go. And they'll send you a new one. And that's what they did. I put it in and I haven't had any problem with it. So.
Oh, cool. There's a question for you here from Headstock Jeremy saying, hey, Hack, was Paul's Kiesel special order or in stock? Because I'm thinking of getting one.
It was a special order. At the time, I think it was like 12 weeks you had to wait on the guitar. It's fun. It's a fun process. The problem is you learn really quick why when an artist has their guitar, they have multiple prototypes before they get the guitar that they want. Because there's so many options that you can have on the guitar. You think you got it right. Yeah. You put your order in and you're done. They don't let you change it. And then you're like, oh, shoot. I would have liked to done this. Yeah, and then you get it and you're like, oh, I'd like to tweak this. I'd like to tweak that. Overall, excellent experience. I know some of the guys have had some issues with, the customer service. And that's what I said on my live stream. I haven't had any of that. I called up. They were thexcellent. They helped me walk through the process because I was a little overwhelmed by all the options.
Yeah, of course.
8 weeks later, I had a guitar, 8 or 10 weeks, and it plays great.
Well, let's see it, man. Let's see it.
Yeah.
Chicken Guitars. Hey, Chicken Guitars. How are you? Janice is here. Hey, Janice. How you doing?
Now, this one's not quite as exotic as some of the ones you saw in their videos this weekend.
That's nice, man. That is really nice.
I'm not crazy. Like some of the ones I saw this weekend are just too much, the acrylic and all that stuff. But what it is, it's an swamp ash body, which is light, extremely light. I'm relicking them all tonight. This is zebra wood. It's a zebra wood. That's what you see in the stripes there. It's a 5-piece maple walnut neck, which is one of the things I might, if I was to do it again, I might change. It's not neck heavy, and it doesn't drop on me. Right. But you can definitely tell that there's a lot of weight in that neck. Overall, it's probably 7 pounds, maybe less. I don't know.
I really dig. I love the top on that. That's beautiful. And the whole guitar, like the top with the neck, it just matches beautifully.
These pickups are hot.
I love the double creams, man.
They're hot.
What are those pickups? Do you know?
Lithium. The lithium pickups.
They're called. Okay, that's their lithium. Okay.
Yeah. They
lithium sounds like it would be a hot pickup. Yeah.
yeah, it's hot. It's definitely hot. But when you're playing this, you're playing heavier stuff generally anyway. So
what do you got that permanently on drop K or something?
no, it's right now. It's standard right now.
Standard.
I didn't put you see, it's straight through the body. So I can, if I want to change them, boom.
You can swap tunings. Yeah.
I don't go real low. I mean, E and D, and that's it. That's tuning.
Hey, Gary Holt is here. Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Hey, Gary.
Yeah, folks, if you've got questions for myself or Paul Lue, we're both in the chat. Just please make sure to tag us. I thought I saw him. Oh, there's R2R3. Hey, buddy.
Hey, R2.
Yeah, I remember the Kiesel booth from Summernam, and some of the best just feeling guitars that I picked up. I mean, these things, the thing was, it's like they look like they belonged in a museum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they were works of art. They were absolutely gorgeous, but they felt like they were super playable.
Oh yeah, right here.
Wow.
Another neck that is just beautiful. The first time I played it, I picked it up. I was like, oh man, yeah. I mean, just perfect.
That's
awesome. For a better neck on it.
Oh, Lars Guitars is in here. Hey, Lars, how are you? Okay, so where are we in the order here? So you got the Les Paul, the Kiesel.
So that came sometime after the Les Paul.
Okay.
I'm not sure if. Let me see. I got that. The other ones aren't all that important. Yeah, that's it. And then the other guitar that I play frequently, some of the acoustics and the 12 string and the BC Rich. I don't play it very often. But I've got
a BC Rich in there.
Yeah, it's an old beater. It's a beater. I won't get this one too close to the screen because you guys will. It's guitar abuse because it's in rough shape.
Yeah, I just because I know people are going to want to see the BC Rich.
All right, I'll bring it up. But it's an old. It was probably it's one of their cheap ones, $150. Actually, my son jammed on this one for a while.
Oh yeah,
it's a beater though. It was bought with the idea that it's going to get beat on by a kid, banged around, and that's pretty much what happened.
No, do you bring that to the church gigs or no?
No, I don't bring that. Although if it wasn't so beat up, I might. And then this one here, that's
pretty, man.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
Really, just a hunk of wood with some maple and some strings, but it sounds great.
Yeah, it's Telly's, man.
Yep. And I wanted a Telecaster that was. I changed the tuners, the tuners because I put the locking.
What Telly is that? Is that a standard?
It's the Players.
Oh, the Players. Yeah, the Players are nice, really nice. They went. I mean, now they jacked the price up on them. Like when they first came out in Canada, I think they were under $700.
Yeah, I paid here $600. I think is what I paid for that. I was telling you,
they're they're just under 1,000 now. Like they went up $200-300 from what the time they because they took off, right? You know. What I mean?
Well, when I went in to buy that one, like I was telling you earlier, I really kind of wanted to buy an Elite, or I think that's the highest tier.
The Elite is the top, yeah.
Yeah, I expected to buy one. They had like 14 or 15 Tellys, and I told the guy, I said, just take them all down. I want to play them all. And he looked at me like, come on, ass, Right, and I said, I'm going to play them all because I want the one that feels good to me. And I played them all, and that's the one that came home with me. And there were some nice looking guitars, but nothing played like that. So I came home.
No, I'm a big fan of the Player series. Their Tellys, their Strats are good. I think they're great. They're great guitars. But like anything else, though, I've played really good ones and I've played really bad ones. Like again, it's like anything else. You have to find the right one, right?
And when I bought that, I wanted a twangy country sounding guitar. That's what I was looking for. And that's what I got. I mean, sometimes I don't even realize how twangy I have it. And I listen back and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a little bit too much.
Yeah, well, that middle position, that's
Yeah.
the money for telly right there.
For sure.
Marsman is here. Hey, Marsman, how's it going? Phil Mosley Music is here. Welcome. Wow, we got 73 people in here, man. Thank you all so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. This is cool. This is cool. So was that the last one that you picked up?
That's the last one. This year I'm hoping for a PRS. I don't have any PRS. So that's my goal for 2020 is to come up with a PRS. I've gone a couple times looking already and nothing yet, but
Ron Limber is asking, I guess, are you a fisherman? He's asking when the last time you were fishing was. I don't know if he's trying to be funny or if you actually fish.
I do fish actually.
Oh,
but
there you go.
The last time was over the summer.
There you go.
I'm not much of a fisherman. It's been 6 months.
Yeah, the PRS. I was I bought my first PRS. I've never had one before, and yeah, I think that's another deep hole right there. You know, and the PRS is, well, I was gonna say they're pretty expensive, but I was watching something earlier today where they're now offering some models in the S2 line, which is, the less expensive core versions, but in the S2 line. Okay. And they had one that they were showing, and I'm so bad with names, but it looked pretty good. It wasn't they got a semi hollow now in the S2 line, and they had one that was it was just a solid piece of mahogany, but it had some really cool colors on it, and it was a lighter weight guitar. Somebody in the chat probably knows which one I'm talking about.
I'll come up with it.
And it looked really, really cool. The only thing I'm not sure of though is I think I'm pretty sure he said the S2, the pickups they were putting on it were basically not the American wound PRS pickups, which means they're going to be like what I got in this one, and I'm going to swap out. So it kind of defeats the whole purpose of it. But thank you, of course, Brian S. The thin line hack. That's the one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the thin line. Hey, Woody, how are you? No, not
Woody.
the Mira. Not
the Mira. I'm kind of got my eye on the Mira.
The Mira's nice. I really, actually, the other one I really like, but I don't. The neck profile is a little bit much for me, but I really like the Velas.
Oh yeah, that's another nice one too.
The Velas are nice. Hey, Jamal is here. Hey, buddy. He's listening while he's at work. Jamal's always working. Always working.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So, that's yeah, I know what you mean. Like you want to have, one from at least, well, the big three, let's call them, right? The Gibson, the Fender, and now the PRS. But yeah. So you haven't found one you like, eh?
Not yet. I've played a bunch of them. Like I said, I just don't bring them home unless first obviously I gotta have the money. But on top of that, they gotta have the feel. If they feel right, they're coming home.
The PRS, that was the hardest. I think that was the hardest one for me to find one that I liked.
Okay.
Because I tried but I had a CE at home for a week, and the guitar was it sounded ridiculous. It sounded so good, and it played so well and all of that, but at the 11th hour it's like there was something missing.
Yeah.
And it looked beautiful. It had that nice, it was a whale blue top, and it had the nice figuring on it, and that thing was gorgeous, but there was something missing.
It just wasn't it. Yeah.
And then it was that in Canada, that thing was over $2,000 and no case. I'm like, I really gotta like it for $2,000, but
a $2,000 guitar and they don't give you a case.
Yeah.
That makes me.
Yeah, that's kind of like a kick in the.
Yeah, it's like, come on, put a case in there. You know what? Charge me $2,100.
Yeah,
and give me the darn case.
Give me a case that Matt. Yeah. The original Paramutant guitar hack, the S2 Mira is great guitar. Really enjoy it. Yeah, the mirrors are great. Like I said, the mirrors, the Velas, yeah, they're good guitars, man, no doubt. And when I had it for the week, I took it to 2 rehearsals, and both times it's like, what the hell? That thing sounds insanely good, But yeah, I don't know. There's like an intangible. I don't know how else to describe it, right? That if the guitar, well, you just mentioned you went through like 14 tellies before you found the one.
Right.
There's that thing that if it's not there, no matter how good it looks and no matter how good it sounds, it's
not for you.
No, it's not for you. It's not for you. Just catching up here on the chat. Yeah, so folks, if you have questions for myself or for Paul, please tag us. Extreme Brian is saying that cases are overrated. This coming from the guy who buys nothing but guitars that come with gold line.
Yeah. The cases are overrated, but when you got to take them out,
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable without the case. Nobody wants a wrecked guitar.
So the YouTube thing, when did that all start up for you? Like, have you been on?
I've been watching YouTube for a long time.
Okay, who were your first YouTube guys? Who got you? Who were you watching at first? Or who are the guys that you're
initially? I think one of the early YouTube guys for me was Tone King.
Oh, okay.
I just kind of stumbled on Tone King, and I was like, "Whoa, holy cow, that guy's got all kinds of stuff." And at the time,
was this early on when he was like, he couldn't even like move?
Yeah, he was in a room with like,
stuff, and he's kind of like playing the guitar kind of like this.
and at the time, I didn't even understand like the whole subscription thing, so I didn't subscribe to him or because I didn't know, and
right.
But I would go to his page and I'd be watching video after video, and he's like, "Oh my gosh," and he had a lot of knowledge, and he knew a lot, so I'd go and I'd learn from him, and then I started to understand, okay, this is what YouTube is, and that's probably when I started. I started recording stuff to put on there, but not necessarily for public, but more for just me, like
right.
I don't want to forget how to play this song, so I'll quickly record it, throw it on there, and next time I want to play it, I just watch the video. Okay, there it is.
So you're using it for your own personal hard drive.
Yeah, that's actually, believe it or not, that's what got me in trouble, because I did with YouTube anyway, I did a cover a while back of Eagles Hotel California Solo.
Oh boy.
And I uploaded it. And instantly, when it went up, they said it can't be shown in the United States, and it went away, right? So I didn't see it again for a long time. And I think it was like November or December of this year, it shows up again in my videos. I'm like, oh, that's strange. Maybe they changed one of the rules, and now my video's back. And so whatever, okay, I mark it to public and let it go, because at that point I'm putting videos up and I get comments on it, and I don't know, probably 10 days later, strike. You got a strike. I'm like, a strike on what? A video that I put up a long time ago that they took down and that they put back.
That's crazy, eh?
I don't know. So that's one of the reasons I haven't done any covers lately, is because I've got that strike and I'm paranoid. I've got so much stuff on there that I don't have public, that I don't want to lose.
Right.
And I'm afraid to put up a cover, another cover, because I don't want to lose all that stuff.
Yeah. Metalhead Hippie's got a question. Hack, ask Paul if he has any cheaper guitars that outplay his more expensive guitars, and what he thinks is the best bargain brand out there.
Best bargain brand?
Yeah. So what cheaper guitars have you played that outplay your more expensive ones?
Well, I mean,
you mentioned the Player Series Telly.
Yeah, that's not an expensive guitar,
right?
And the Jackson, I think that was I probably only paid $600 or $700 for that guitar. I do feel like the prices of guitars are starting to just we're tolerating too much, at the top end. When you're talking about guitars that are $6,000-$7,000, and we're comfortable with $4,000 and $5,000. I'm starting to think that the market needs to put a cap on that at some point and say, hang on, guys, this is ridiculous. But that, I mean, let me try to think of what they had out there. There's the PRS even has, like the one that you have, nice playing guitar, not ridiculously expensive. The Kiesel that I had custom built, it was over $1,000. I think I paid $1,200 for it. So it's not inexpensive.
No, that's not crazy though.
But for a custom build where you can say, okay, I want maple and walnut, and I want, an antique ash finish, and I want, gold jumbo frets, or I want stain, you get to pick everything. So for $1,200, I felt like that wasn't an expensive guitar either,
Okay, let me address a couple of things. Tom Jorge is saying his real 69 Strat was way cheaper than a custom shop fake. I think he means Relic 69 Strat. Yeah, and Six String Stanger, can I get a link to Paul's YouTube channel? Yeah, it's below. It's in the cards and it's in the description. I should have mentioned that earlier. Yeah, folks, sub to Paul's channel. He's got an awesome channel. I have the link in the description below, and it's also up in the cards. So it's there for you to check out. So yeah, go ahead and do that. That's cool. Very cool. Nice. Yeah, like the weird thing about the standard, or the SC standard, is there's a what do they call it? This is the SC, and then there's another SC that has its exact same guitar. They throw a maple cap on it, and that maple cap makes that guitar $300 more.
Yeah,
figure that one out.
I know.
Same pickups, same hardware, same everything. Maple cap.
What is it? 1/4-inch piece of wood?
Yeah.
No.
Just to get a little bit of figuring there.
Yeah.
I mean it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I feel like they're going crazy with prices, but it is what it is, and until we quit paying for it, and then they'll have to bring it down a little bit, and that's probably not going to happen. But
was there anything? I'm sure you're been blown out like everybody else with tons and tons of NAMM videos in the last week or two. But would anything grab you?
No, nothing. First, trade shows for me, because I own a business, and when we do trade show type of stuff, to me, it just sounds like work anyway. So, it's gear. I love gear. But I bought a Fractal AX8. It's it's basically their Axe Effects in a box that you can put on the floor that you can use if you're going to gigs. I bought that probably about a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago. Since I bought that, there has been very few things that have interested me as far as gear goes, because it does everything and anything that I wanted. There isn't a single preset on that thing that I can't click on and use. It's actually, it's kind of gotten rid of the pedal and amp gas completely since I bought it.
Yeah, and the pedals are another deep hole that I have fallen into, but I'm trying.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've got a bunch of them on the floor in the background there too.
Yeah,
the Supersonic. I've got the Supersonic. I've got Wampler. I've got TC Electronic, and a bunch of stuff. And I was always on a hunt for a different pedal, a different drive, something a little bit different, until I bought that Fractal.
And it's stopped.
Since then, literally, I could care less about the pedals. I still use the amp, because what I do is I have an ABY pedal, and I run Fractal with my tube amp at the same time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so I can put a Marshall with that Fender and have
crazy tone.
It's heaven. you know, if I could play the guitar well enough to make it sound good, it would sound great.
What amp is that? Which Fender?
That's a Supersonic.
Oh, okay. You mentioned that. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice amp. It does clean. It does, I mean, right up to pretty heavy sounding tone. The only issue that I have with this one, and I don't know if it's with all of them, is when you try to switch from clean over to the distortion side or the drive side, there's a pop. So you wouldn't be able to, at least with this amp, you wouldn't be able to use that thing live and go from clean to drive. You'd have to have clean with a pedal, boom, and go from there. I don't know if there's something wrong with the amp, but it's been that way since day one.
Mm-hmm.
But I usually, what I would do is I'd set up the drive side just at the edge, kind of very light, and then I kind of kick on a pedal and I get what I want out of it.
Well, that's what most people do. You take an amp. When you're using pedals, the amp is just your platform, right? So, you'll set up the amp, like you say, just on the verge, and then you just kick it in overboard and just use your pedals for all your gains and so on.
And then the funny thing is we actually did a little bit of a blind. It wasn't very scientific, but it was a little bit of a blind test on that amp and the fractal. I got myself a supersonic. It was a patch for the AX8 supersonic, basically set up like this. And me and my son, we played. And first I played, and with the AB switch, I had him set it to one or the other, try to figure out if I could tell, which one it was. The sound was identical.
Wow.
In the room, I couldn't. So then I'm like, you know what, though? I'm playing. Let me go a little bit farther away. You play the guitar. You switch it. I'm going to be far enough away where I won't actually feel, where the sound is coming from. And I still couldn't tell. I couldn't tell the difference. So when I did that, I realized, okay, as much as I think that I can tell the difference between the digital stuff and the analog stuff, I can't. There's no way. Not as close as I was, even when I was out on the other side of the house listening and trying to figure it out. I couldn't hear it.
So when you go out and you do the church things, what do you take? Do you just take the fractal and go right into the board?
Yeah, that's basically what I do. I plug right into their system, and it goes to the front of the house and through this speaker system. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the only place that someone would let me play through a system like that would be at a church. Because I suck. I'm not a good guitar player. I have fun playing.
There's a proper term for that. It's called hack.
Yeah, if you're the hack,
I'm okay.
I'm a super hack, right?
I'm a hack and I'm okay.
But that most of the time the stuff that you're playing there isn't hard. The hard part about it is you don't find out about what you're playing until Tuesday, and you got to rehearsal on Wednesday, and a lot of the music I've never heard before. But so you basically plug into the front of the house and they shoot your sound out from there. The way they do it, where I was playing up until not too long ago, is you had in-ear.
Oh, wow.
It sucks. But
Mitch Heyman is here. I don't know if I said hello, Mitch. If I haven't, hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well.
But that's what I do when I was doing it. I've kind of backed away from it simply because of the trying to learn songs a day before you got to play them, 3 days before you have to play them in front of it. It was a big church. It's probably 700 to 1,000 people.
Wow.
You go up there and they used to let you you could have like a little sheet, for reminders, but then they wanted to get rid of that. And I'm like, you know what, if I don't want to get up there and sound and look like an idiot and go to an A when everyone else went someplace else, the song. So I said that's it.
I'd have to play like 70 gigs to play to 700 people.
Yeah, well, these are pretty forgiving people. So if you do go the wrong way, as long as I don't try to sing.
Singing. Yeah, we talked about the singing earlier. Yeah. Hey, Chris is your Guitar Pit. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Guitar Pit.
All right. 6-string Stanger just subbed you, Paul.
Oh, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, folks, if you're not subbed to Paul, go ahead. I have his link below. I also have his link in the cards. And
yeah, you'll be underwhelmed by my guitar covers, but I have a lot of fun doing them.
It's all for fun. And you're saying started taking some lessons in that?
Yeah, which I've done over the years. I've taken lessons with let's see, Chris Brooks. If you find him on YouTube, he's
Oh, okay.
an insane guitar player. I took lessons for a while with Robert Baker, which is another YouTube guy.
Yeah,
But
we all know Robert.
there's a local guy that I've been taking lessons with. He's Berkeley grad, and he's really stretching me. He gives me a lot of stuff every week, way more than I can actually function with by the next lesson. I know this stuff, but I wouldn't want to go anywhere and have to play it well. But by the time the month is over, I've got at least 2.5 weeks worth of stuff down solid.
Yeah.
My goal when I played in the band, it was huge. They had all kinds of instruments. You'd have 2 or 3 guitar players. You have a bass player. You have keyboards, piano, flute, sometimes a horn section. So sonically, your space is like this.
Yeah.
So playing full chords, no one is going to hear you. You're not going to. It doesn't matter if you have your guitar turned down to 7 when the sound guy is checking you and you blast it to 10 when you start playing. It doesn't matter. There's just too much sound. So I really wanted to learn, okay, how can I get more of the mid-range type of stuff? I want to learn all the words.
Triads?
Yeah, the triads, and start playing them, and maybe not necessarily even chording with them, but just using parts of the triads to fill in rhythmically, and that worked pretty well. And he got me through all of that, the major, minor, and diminished. And then he took me from that to the jazz chords, which is where I, struggle, with some of the crazier shapes. And I get them, but it just takes me time in practice. And then musically, he's been teaching me a lot, the theory behind it, which is nice because as much as early on I resisted that stuff because it felt like work, the more I learn about it, the more the guitar just makes sense to me. And it all kind of comes together, Now thinking about the triads with the theory that I know and the intervals and all of that, looking at the guitar, I just look at it totally differently, which is nice. So I recommend if you can get yourself to sit through some of that and struggle through some of that. I mean, I struggled through it. I'm not saying everybody's going to struggle through it. It's worth it in the end because you really do. The instrument really opens up to you, and it's not such a mystery,
So are you like rhythm, or are you doing leads?
I do both. It depends on who I'm playing with, honestly. I mean, if there's someone that rips me up, then I just,
go ahead. Yeah.
It's yours, man, because I'm not going to be able to do that, know. But I'll play rhythm. At home, usually I play right along, like I said, with the stereo blast. And then if I know the solo, I play through it. If I don't, I look it up and I try and play it,
Tom Harhai has a question for you. He's asking, do the church gigs pay? If not, do you have to provide your own ear monitors, your own in-ear monitors?
No, they have those. Some do. Some gigs do. I wasn't getting paid. I was playing for free.
Yeah, I don't think they would.
Some of them do. Some of them do.
Really,
yeah. Yeah. And then it also depends on like what point, if you're leading the group, sometimes, that's a full-time gig because they're trying to get everything together and musicians and orchestrate it, when you have that many instruments, sometimes it takes a lot of work. And
Jeff Miller's here. Hey, Jeff, how are you?
That was another challenge with that gig was, you have singers and different abilities in the singers. Right. And generally volunteer. So you may, I this is the song, you get there that night and now, yeah, we're doing it in a different key. And you're like,
you're going there.
Okay. And that's one thing if you're just chording through, but if it's riff based, then you're like, I got to get this, and I got about 3.5 minutes.
How do I all of a sudden transpose this entire riff? Yeah.
In 3 minutes, because 1, 2, 3, go, we're playing.
Yeah. That's a little bit tricky. Hey, Guitar Bazaar is here. Hey, Glenn, how are you? Cool. Yeah. So I don't know, your channel, is it just for fun, or what do you got, any plans upcoming for the new year for the channel, or
I'd
just
like
keep
to
doing
do
what
some
you're doing?
I'd like to do some more live stuff. Only because I've been having fun, in the community.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, you know, sitting and watching YouTube is fun. Getting on and doing live is a whole different ball
You
game.
know what? It's funny you mention that, because when I saw you on, you kept saying that, man, this is harder than it looks.
It is. It is, because here I'm sitting in my living room, right? And in the family, they're in the front of the house, and I'm out here talking to myself. And we didn't have 60, 70 people. Some people showed up, and I appreciated it, because otherwise I was just going to spend 30, 40 minutes talking to myself. But
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Normally I'm reading the comments, I'm like, oh yeah, and contributing into the conversation. But here I'm having a hard time with my maybe 8 or 9 people that showed up, reading the comments and thinking about what I'm going to talk about. And then it gets quiet, and I'm like, what now?
Yeah. Dead air is the it's what you try to avoid at all costs.
And there was dead air, but I literally, I just went on. I was like, you know what? If I want to do this, I'm just going to turn it on and go live and just wing it, because
That's what I do.
if I thought, if I overthought it, it was going to be crazy. My plan is the next time I go, I'm going to have a couple of topics, so it doesn't seem quite as bad.
Yeah, topics are good. I mean, it's always when I do my solo shows, I generally have, like, 2 or 3 points that I want to just sort of like to start it,
Yeah.
and then it goes wherever it goes. I mean, the comments, they sort of dictate, what where you end up spending time on. Dwight Bailey is saying he's the one that showed up on your stream.
Yeah, he was there, and Chris was there, and I'm trying to remember who else. I'm going to forget, so I apologize.
I was there on one of them. I don't know if that was your first one or your second. I don't know, but
I've only done the one. It was like
then I was there too.
Saturday or Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And I had time, to sit down, and the thing with my house is it's dynamic. I've got a 19-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 3-year-old running around this house. So to get it as quiet as it is right now, I literally have to lock them all in the bedroom. So currently, my wife and my daughters are in the bedroom watching some movie that would keep the 3-year-old busy. And
Right.
my son, he took his girlfriend someplace. So the house is quiet. This is the only time it's like this.
I don't want to keep them in prison for much longer.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They're having fun in there.
Yeah. Well, what you could do, I mean, you've got the setup for it. Is you could, because you've got the fractal, I'm sure you've got a line you can go right into the computer.
Yeah.
And you probably have some amazing tone doing it that way too.
Yeah, and it actually, it sounds even better that way than it does when I'm trying to record it with the camera and the mic. The problem again comes down to, and it's it's a cop out, but it's literally time. If I have time to record something, it is right now. Boom, do it. So turn the camera on, kick the amp on, and go, because your time is over now. If you didn't get it right, that's why a lot of times I put on there like a one take video, because I had one chance.
Yeah.
I did it and I put it up, and that's it, because literally I turn the amp off after I'm done, and it's back to, the family stuff, which is good.
But you know what? I was talking about that. I don't remember where, because I got a crappy memory, but I was mentioning something about, because when I do the same thing, right? It's like, okay, I got time, I'm going to shoot this video. And then I was talking to you before, like, I did a real quick video on the PRS, and then realized after the fact that maybe it could have been tuned a little bit better. But you know what? And I'll it's off the cuff. It's like, here's a demo, here's me playing, or if I want to do a backing track, you just play. But and there's bum notes in there, and I'll tell you there's bum notes and this and that. But somebody was saying that they appreciate that because it's real.
It's real.
You know what I mean? It's not like, and I don't have you know, I don't have sophisticated recording software and effects. You're basically hearing the guitar like right into, you know, just over a track. I just set levels and go kind of thing.
Yep.
But people dig that. I think that's
Yeah.
cool, right?
That's why I go watch live music, because I want it raw. I want it like they're playing it right now. That
Yeah.
means if you know that guitar went out a little, you know, when they're playing, hey, that's what happened. And look, watch them work it, you know. And you know, the really good guys are like, you know, changing it as they go, and me no. but still, that's what I love live music. You know, they hit a bad note. How do they deal with it? Yeah.
Yeah, just keep bending it.
Right.
Eventually you'll hit the right one, right?
Eventually it'll come.
Actually, it's funny. We were talking about this off air, and Brian just mentioned it. Ever do a real quick video, then realize you forgot to hit record?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. More times than I could count. And I'm like, well, I guess that wasn't meant to be. And it's often my best recordings too.
Yeah. Well, Tom Harhai is saying, Guitar Hack, you can also see when someone does major cuts and edits to fix their playing. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I couldn't do that even if I wanted to. I don't think there was a single video that have been able to do that.
I can't.
My editing skills are terrible. Terrible. I'm trying to come up with a logo because everybody's got a logo for their channel. And I've got I employed 2 people that are that's what they do. they're graphic designers, so I've got to get a logo. I was thinking something with the, you know, the flat top and guitars. I got to come up with it. I might also change my screen name, but if I do that, I'll do it slowly so people know who I am. To try to get away from just my name.
We got somebody new, Cindy Kaufman, Johnny G from the 505 here. Do you know who that is?
No.
Oh, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. It's a new name. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. And like and subscribe to my guest. His link is below.
Thank you. Anyone that checks me out, I appreciate it.
Okay, Guitar Bazaar Hack. I'll check on the shipping cost tomorrow and get with you. Yes, appreciate that. Yeah, like we were talking off air again about the SE, and I'm getting some new pickups put in there, and the pickups are coming from Guitar Bazaar from Glenn. So I'll put those in, and I'll do some playing and some demoing. And actually, what I'll do, I just got an idea. I'll record something like a before and after.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because somebody else was asking me too. They want to hear what Glenn's pickups sound like. So that'd be a great way to do it. You know.
Does he do single coil and humbucker?
It's dual humbucker right now.
Yeah.
And it's coil tap on it right now.
But does he have single coil pickups?
Oh yeah, no, he does them all. He does single coils, humbuckers, P90s, everything.
Guitar Bazaar, that's Guitar Bazaar?
Guitar Bazaar, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had him on as a guest. When did I have Glenn on? I think I had him on back in December.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember that.
Thomas Santiago.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, and there's Dante. Welcome. Yeah, he calls them PNAFs, patent not applied for. Yeah, so yeah, because some people were asking me about that. So, and there was a comment earlier that Chris made that was pretty funny. He was saying something about that you should have a shed prison like I do or something. Put him in a hack shack, you know. Yeah, they won't mind. They won't mind. All right. Well, we're a little past the hour here. You good for another 10 minutes or so?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good as long as you want to go.
Yeah.
So I'm picking up subscribers. I don't know exactly who everybody is, but I want to say thank you. I've been struggling to get over 200. Well, I've been over 200 for probably about a month, but struggling to get over that. I don't upload all the time, and lately I've been not uploading simply because of the strike that I have. I'm trying not to get another strike before, I think early February is when it goes away. So I haven't been uploading a lot, but I appreciate everybody that is subbing. My son made me look bad. He's on, I don't know if you're familiar with that TikTok thing.
Oh God, yes.
The kid has been on it a month. All my videos together, I've got, I don't know, maybe a couple thousand views.
Mhm.
One of his videos, he had 20 million views.
Oh my God.
He's got ridiculous amount of views, and he's been doing it a month. 20 million views.
That's insane.
There was a point where he was gaining over 100,000 views in a minute.
Oh my God.
Now all his videos are through the roof. So,
Yeah,
not to get off the guitar topic, but it
but
frustrates me because for the last year I've been like, I just want to get over 200.
I'm still trying to break 200,000, and I've been on over a year.
Well, you're doing a lot better than I am.
Yeah. Hey, well, hey, it's
You work it for sure.
I've been. This is I can say now I'm going like a year and 2 or 3 months now, something like that. It's regular, but I started my channel way back. I never showed my face, and I just did gear reviews. And the funny thing, and they are horrible. It's like horrible quality, sound.
Yeah.
Like now I got monitors, I got a good camera. I even went out and bought a mixer the other day. Now I'm trying to, up the game a little bit. But back then it was just like everything on this shitty old Samsung tablet.
Yeah.
But the stupid thing about it is those videos get regular views every month.
Really?
Like every month there'll be like 40, 50 views of videos that are just horrible.
That's because I think sometimes people are just looking for the video. They're not necessarily
just for that piece of information or whatever it was. So.
Yeah, and honestly, I do subscribe to some of the bigger channels, but I actually enjoy watching the smaller channels much more.
Oh, me too.
The big ones, they become a little too commercial. If every piece of gear that they have on their channel is the most amazing piece of gear ever in the world, I start to lose interest. I'm actually there for, I want to watch people play. I want to see what they've got. I don't want to hear, like everybody is awesome and amazing. If something's okay, that's all right. Say it's okay.
The thing is, when I'm interested in a piece of gear, I don't want to hear a guy that works in a store demo it, or a guy that got it sent to them to demo it. That's no interest to me. I want to see I want to see somebody like me who's like, okay, let's see what this thing does, and and then I'll get a real feel for whether it's right or not. Like any gear that I demo, by the way, nobody's bought for me. It's all mine. I paid for it. So so it's if the quality is bad, hopefully the honesty makes up for it. So
yeah, and that's what I usually enjoy the most is just people getting on there and just being themselves, not trying to act. I'm frustrated with this thing right now. It's my Line 6. It's the G30. It works great for what I use it for. It's just a wireless, so I don't trip over the cord and kill myself.
Right.
But dropped it once and it's done.
Oh, wow.
Cracked the back right at the battery door, and now the battery door, I'm thinking duct tape might help, but it won't stay closed, which means it doesn't work.
Yeah, and you won't be able to exchange it either because it's
busted. Yeah, and I've had it now for a year, and it worked good, but busted it, and frustrating.
Bruce, Guitar Hack, or someone who bought a guitar because they liked it, and you get to see what they like. Yeah, exactly. It's because if somebody bought the gear, they obviously liked it, and then they think it's, as opposed to it being given to them and them having to say, yeah, this is great, right?
Yeah. Plus, you know what? Hearing you play it, and so it's a little bit out of tune. Well, chances are when I'm playing it at some point, it's going to be a little out of tune, right? So I get to hear what it's going to really sound like.
This is what it sounds like out of tune, folks, in case you're wondering.
If it's spit polished, it's not going to sound like that at my house. I guarantee it,
Oh, there's a new name, Garguts Entertainment. How are you? Welcome to the channel.
Hey, man.
Welcome to the channel. Yeah, no, I agree. And the other thing too that I like to do is, pretty much anyone that I recognize in the chat, if they've got content, I'm probably sub to them.
Yeah, me too.
And that's so like when I see like somebody like yourself, oh, Paul Lue's live. Wow. Boom, there I am, because that's what I want to see. I want to see, you know, our group, you know, put
Right.
stuff out, and that's the stuff that I want to go in and, you know, because I do make a speech every show. You know,
Yeah.
let's grow the community. Let's, you know, be positive environment and all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, I try to, you know, try
Yeah,
to keep that
definitely.
going because I think that's great. Because I mean, like I said, little over the year that I've been doing it, I've noticed it's been growing and more people are putting out stuff.
Yeah,
You
because I
know,
think once you get comfortable with the group of people, um, and you're getting that positive feedback, and you're not getting just trolls, you know, who probably don't even play guitar tearing you up, then you're like, all right, this is all right, I'll do this, you know. That's how I feel. And most of the people that you have on here, if I see a new name, first thing I do is I click it, I see if they've got something guitar related up. If they've got guitar stuff, boom, I give them a sub right away, you know, because that's just I like those smaller channels most of the time.
yeah. Welcome, Merrill J, and welcome, Gary Tholander. I saw your name. Takes me a while, but I saw your name. I swear I did. Just
Gary,
first time, I swear.
I haven't seen hardly anyone's name because I'm not good at this yet. I'm
Well,
staring at myself.
yeah. Well, we're at 65 right now. We're at 65. So,
All right.
but yeah, you know, and that's the other thing too. Like, you know, that I avoid like the plague is I don't get it so much now, but I used to get it a lot before, where I get people that would want to do like a sub for sub kind of thing, right? So I'd get, oh, you know, I love your channel. Your channel great, you know, and then there'd be like I don't know, a plant channel or something, or you know,
No,
sheep farming in Wyoming or something. It's like, what
I
does
get
that got to do with guitars? You know, you know, so I'll tell you though, like what's one of the reasons why it took me so long to hit that milestone, right? And honestly, since I broke the milestone, I broke it back on my birthday last October. I've only gained, I don't know, it varies day to day, but I think no more than 80 since then. I mean, it's a really slow thing because I don't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want people that, you know, are just gonna like be numbers. I want people that are gonna interact and be interested in what I put up, right? So, you
yeah.
know, and so it's all part of the process anyway.
And honestly, I'd rather be at 200, 500, or whatever, and have people that, you know, I enjoy them commenting and commenting back. And
Right.
honestly, really, if as long as someone comments and they're not commenting, you know, just negative, just trying to tear something up, I can take a little bit of constructive criticism. Hey, man, you know,
Yes.
try this. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Tell me, you know, if you think something, you can help me with something, comment that, because I'm not going to take it harshly if
Yeah.
it's done the right way. You know,
Right.
not you're like, oh, you suck. Why do you even try picking up
Yeah.
guitar?
Oh, I get plenty of that. You know, it's funny you mentioned that because I don't know if Quentin is still in here, but Quentin used to give me shit for when I used to bend, and I still do it. And I try, and I always think of Quentin.
Yeah.
Because when I got this thing of when I bend, I only bend with one string. I don't put one finger. I don't put a second to reinforce.
Yeah.
But I've started working on that, and that's because Quentin's like, "Hey, man, you're bending with one finger."
Yeah. And what does it do? It helps, right? It makes you
Oh
a better
yeah,
player.
but you
You
know
know,
that's the positive feedback that
that
we're looking for.
I love. You know, if someone does that.
Hey, Dan in New Jersey is here. Welcome. Thank you so much. Six String Stanger says, "Well said, hi." Thanks so much, man.
See you, chicken guitars.
All right, Chicken Guitars. Have a good night. Have a good night. Yeah. So, all right. So I love speaking of the speech. So, folks, I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in. You guys rock. Um, thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for helping me to get to that milestone of 1,000. You guys are awesome. I want to thank Paul. Paul, if you got anything you wanted to say to the folks before we wrap this whole thing up?
No, I just guys, I enjoy, you know, being in the chats with you and enjoy watching your channels. And you know, if you've subbed to me, thank you. And if you haven't, consider it. That's it.
Cool. Oh, and Paul's guitar music. Have a good night. Oh, he was lurking. Hey, Paul. How are you? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. I might be doing something off the cuff on the channel, maybe on the weekend, depending on how things go. And I launched the second channel too. If anyone likes the whole Hack Shack and watching me smoke and shoot the shit, I have a Hack Shack channel too. So if you want to check that out, yeah. So
What's the name?
Pardon?
What's the name of that one? The second one, the second channel.
I think it's just called Hack. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called Hack Shack.
Hack Shack. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you all so much. You guys rock, and we'll catch you next time. Have a great week, and have a great weekend.
Killer weekend, guys.
All right, cheers. Rock on.